What is going on, everyone? I am the Yu-Gi-Oh! Score, and my camera's a little bit off. There we go. But you all can call me Bailey, and I have an annoying deck for you today. Something I just threw together. My last video, I really lived up to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Scrub moniker. Played absolutely horribly, banishing two darks for a BLS. I did have a light in the grave, so, like, it's okay. Yeah, no, just playing really, really badly with a goat control deck. And yeah, that just, it's me. I'm the scrub. I don't expect to play great, but I wanted a deck that decisions are not really difficult. Let's just say that. So we're playing with a deck that I called Floodgate Monsters. We have three Banisher of the Light, three Jaugen the Spiritualist, both lights, important to know, triple Kaiku, DD Warrior Lady, not really Floodgate, but, I want to make sure it fit nice, because I have, like, 9 here, and then 2 Spirit Reaper, because if I put the Spirit Reaper there, then there'd be 1 down here, and that would just look ugly. But, yeah, so these Reaper, and then the 3 Kaiku, Jaugen, and Banisher, kind of the Floodgate monsters, they just, do different things. Kaiku is just a great dark that has the Floodgate effect of your opponent can't banish. Banisher of the Light just obviously banishes everything, so against certain matchups, that's just a win. And then Jaugen as well can be really, really cool. Just stopping your opponent from special summoning. But, the problem is their opponent can just attack over the Banisher or the Jaugen, especially because, like, if you want to use the Banisher, yes, it has a beefy 2000 defense, but if you want to get it active turn 1, you need a normal summon it, because if it's face down, obviously its effect isn't going off. So we gotta have some ways to protect it. We have triple Widespread Ruin and triple Sakuretsu Armor and triple Solemn Judgment, just saying no to anything your opponent might throw at you. Mirror Force, Ring of Destruction, and 1/7 Tools of the Bandit. No Torrential in the main, just because we obviously want to keep our Floodgate monsters on the board. And then other cards, we have BLS, because of course we're going to have a BLS, a Breaker, Exiled Force, just a good card, Sandgan, Serpent, and Tribe, just good one-ofs to, round off the monster lineup. We have Double Knock and Double Mind Control, because we kind of don't have great ways to deal with flips if we're running into something slow, a Chaos Turbo or a Goat Control that has a lot of flip monsters. The Exile Force is one way, but, if we can just banish them or mind control it, that works well. The Trinity, of course, Graceful Pot and Duo. 1 MST, no Heavy Storm, because, you can see all the traps here. We want to make sure that those stay on the field. Premature Burial maybe could be like a Book of Moon, but I don't know. Premature I like with, like, Sandgan and Exiled Force and Tribe. There's just good monsters that we can bring back. Also, all of our Floodgate monsters, if need be, we can bring them back. Snatch Steal to maybe steal some wins, and I think, yeah, that's all the cards in the main. The only other kind of Floodgate monsters, well, actually, I guess they're all Floodgates on the side. We have triple Cypher Soldier, just so if we run into Warriors, this card, it's kind of a Floodgate. The problem is we can kind of lose to, like, beefy Blade Knight, stuff like that with, like, 2000 defense. Granted, or 2000 attack, I mean. The 2000 defense Banisher can kind of wall, but the other monsters do have a problem getting over it. Spirit Reaper helps with it as well. But we have the triple Cypher Soldier for any Warrior matchups, maybe even Earth Aggro, double Spell Canceller, just because it's a great Floodgate monster, and then triple King Tiger Wang Hu. If you guys didn't see, I can't remember what video it was, but we ran into Clown Control and just summoned a King Tiger and absolutely demolished, because everything under in that deck is 1400 or less attack. Then we have a couple Token Thanksgivings, the Torrential on the side, Dust Tornado, Book of Moon, just some good cards. But let's go ahead. Hoping the 7 Tools of the Bandit does something, because I like the idea of, like, being able to just normal summon my Banisher, Kaiku, or whatever, like, having one on the field and normal summon on my opponent's like, ha, I got you, I'm going to Torrential, and I'm like, no, I'm just going to 7 Tools of the Bandit that. Let's go and join the GOAT format ladder. I promise, I haven't done a viewer suggestion in a while, but I have been seeing them. I do want to play more. I just want to play stuff that I feel like playing. Let's click this button for your viewing pleasure and hope that you're having a fantastic day. If you're not having a fantastic day, then make it a fantastic day by doing something other than watching this video, and then you can come back. But really appreciate all my commenters, everyone who keeps giving me support, especially the ones who are returning. I see comments pretty much every video from certain people, and love it, love it, love it. Makes me feel good, and, I like that I'm building a little community here. Let's wish my opponent some luck and fun. If you are not subscribed and you're not commenting frequently, well, I guess I can't make you comment frequently, but definitely consider subscribing. We're making a push for 2,000. We'll see if we can get there by the end of the year. We're over a quarter of the way past 1,000. Getting rid of Banisher of the Light because of the Delinquent Duo, and I think we'll get rid of the Judgment. Just don't want to pay that many life points. We have Sandgan plus BLS, and so we have a Light Engrave now with the Banisher. Sandgan can hit the field and hopefully give us that Dark. Ring of Destruction's a good little defense. And we get Duo ourselves, so we're going to fire that off right away. And hit that card from my opponent's hand. Hitting Heavy Storm, alright, like to see that gone. We got a coffee. We had to drop our cars off this morning for some inspections and oil changes, you know, just proper maintenance. But there was a coffee place on the way back that we like. So we decided to stop in. We're going to attack with the sand. No, I'm not going to attack with the Sangan. Little worried it's a Magician of Faith and he's going to get back Delinquent Duo, but with one card in hand. Granted, he doesn't know it's BLS, but that would hurt. I just don't think he's going to Delinquent Duo. Graceful Charity, unfortunately, that's fine. But I got a coffee, and it's interesting. It has citrus in it, and not just like a little citrus flavoring, like chunks of orange. And the more I drink it, the more I'm like, it's not bad. I probably wouldn't get it again. But it's okay. Very interesting. That's really the best way to say it. And I hate that there's not a better description, but I don't know. Okay, opponent discards Card Destruction and Premature Burial, and then sets another monster and passes. We draw a Kaiku. We'll summon the Kaiku, and we're going to attack with the Kaiku over the new set. It is the Magician of Faith, making me think that this monster here is probably like a Dakoichi or a Spy. He gets back Graceful Charity, and we're just going to pass our turn. It's got a chunk of orange in it. Yeah, no, it's very interesting. You don't necessarily think... And it is Pot of Greed, so we've seen his whole trinity. You don't necessarily think that, like, orange is going to work, and I don't know if it does. I've had coffee, like, I love. I'll actually tell this story right now. When I really kind of found that I love interesting coffees. Living in, at college, going into the city. I don't know why. I just don't want to say the city. I don't want to give you guys too much information, but would go into a downtown, and there was this place that, you know, tiny little coffee shop attached to a hotel of all things. But I remember going in and just getting a coffee, and I didn't realize it was going to be black, I don't think. And I got it, and most people who haven't drank black coffee and are used to really sweet coffees, you know, they take a sip and it's really bitter and gross, and I can understand why, especially certain coffees, you know, cheaper coffees. Yeah, the black coffee can be pretty dang bitter and not very tasty. But this coffee, the notes on it, and you know, I'm sophisticated, I'm saying notes, not just flavors. The notes that were underlying the coffee, and it described it, but there was fruitiness and nuttiness, and I was just like, oh my god, like, that's what taught me what coffee can be. And it wasn't that they were putting anything in it, it was the bean itself just had these flavors that I had never really expected from a coffee, and it was just incredible. And from that point on, I'm like, okay, there's such thing as just really, really good fancy coffee. And yeah, that's my coffee story. Alright, we are going to attack with Kaiku. The first set might be a Spy, might be a Dakoichi, we'll see what it is. It was a Sinister Serpent. Okay. Attack the other set with Sangan. That probably is going to be a Spy. It's a Sangan itself. Okay. So Sangan's going to search him something. A little afraid of Torrential, so I'm not going to summon the Jowgen. Maybe I set it as a bluff, because I don't think it's going to do much in this matchup, especially with Kaiku already on the field. You know, this Chaos matchup. Get Tsukiyomi, that's fine. Maybe I will now. Because my thought process here... No, I can't. My thought process is if I summon it, he is kind of forced to Tsukiyomi one of the two, because if he Tsukiyomi's the Kaiku, he can then summon a Chaos Monster. I think I am down bad enough that I have to take the risk that it's Torrential, though. So that's what we're going to do. We'll summon main phase 2, please no Torrential. He's seen half his deck, so it's good. Alright, and we'll pass our turn. Ring of Destruction still in the back row for some defense. But feeling better now. He got 2 of our Floodgates on the field. He gets Sinister Serpent back. And he does have Lights and Darks. We know the Sangan's obviously in there. Magician of Faith, couple Thunder Dragons. So, let's see what his plan is. He searched Tsukiyomi, so what do we know? We know Sinister Serpent and Tsukiyomi. I think that's it. Tsukiyomi is summoned. Setting probably Kaiku. Yep. And I imagine he's going to go to battle and try to run over the Kaiku. And we will ring the Tsukiyomi. We both take 1100. And this is why I wanted the Jowgen on the field, because say that play didn't go through, but I didn't summon the Jowgen, you know, same thing that just happened, I'd Ring of Destruction. He could then just summon a Chaos Monster and banish the Sakuretsu Armor, but because Jowgen's on the field, he cannot special summon. We will now flip the Kaiku, change that to defense, and try to poke in for some damage. There's the Mirror Force. Sangan will search us. What do we want to get? Probably maybe DD Warrior Lady? Or Exile. I think Exile Force, potentially. I don't know. It's tough. I would search the Kaiku. I like the Banisher, but he's already got Lights and Darks, and so it kind of doesn't do nearly as much. DD Warrior Lady. If we search Exile Force, he can bait it out with the Sinister Serpent we know, so we're going to go DD Warrior Lady. And we will take this turn to just summon it, since we haven't normal summoned, and just set the Sakuretsu Armor to protect that Jowgen and pass our turn. Tribe Infecting Virus would be a little annoying. He Snatch steals the DD Warrior Lady. That's A-okay, though. Goes to battle, and unfortunately we will have to Sakuretsu Armor our own DD Warrior Lady. So we kind of go 1 for 1. Actually, no, it's a 2 for 1 because we get rid of our own monster, but we get rid of the Snatch Steal. But most importantly, we keep that Jowgen. Unfortunately, I can't special summon my BLS either, because neither player can special summon. He just sets 2 back row, goes to end phase. We get Solemn Judgment. Happy to see that. We'll set the Judgment pass turn. Might be a Magician of Faith, which would be frustrating because he could probably get through the Jowgen with a spell. We'll have to see what he then gets. Looks like Chaos Turbo so far, and he MSTs the Solemn Judgment. Obviously not going to negate because it would be absolutely pointless. So, Book of Moon to set the Jowgen, which I don't want to say is fine. It's not good for us because here comes a big Chaos Monster. Banishing a dark and a light. Okay, so better than me. Yesterday, like I said, I banished 2 darks, and there's the BLS. So if we can survive this turn, we'll take 3,000 extra damage from a secondary BLS attack, and just pass turn. I would love if you just pass turn, please. There we go. End phase, we get Breaker. Alright, and I like this. We will summon the Breaker, and pop this back row. It was a Sakuretsu Armor. Like to see that gone. We will then banish, I think, the Banisher, and we have more Kaikus than Sangans. Banish the Kaiku, special the BLS, declare, get rid of that BLS. And attack, trying to get over this. Night Assailant, nope, there's the Sinister Serpent. Okay. So, we have the board presence. He has the card advantage. Getting back Sinister Serpent as well. But Snatch Steal is gone. He just goes ahead, sets a monster, a back row, and uses Scapegoat. We get Pot of Greed, so finally we can gain some of this advantage back. Get Banisher and Sinister Serpent. We'll declare, banish the monster. It's a Cyberjar. That's really, really good. Love seeing that gone. Oh, we've seen Sakuretsu Armors, but Mirror Force is gone. Torrential is not, though. So we will, I think... we're going to attack. We don't need to fear the Mirror Force, don't need to change the BLS to defense. And we'll set the Banisher of Light just as some defense. Not summoning it because we don't want to run into a Torrential Tribute. Nobleman across out, that's A-okay by me. Much rather the Banisher get Nobleman than the Sinister Serpent. Summons a Breaker. So he's going to be able to run over our own Breaker, and the last card in his hand is Sinister Serpent. We get Spirit Reaper. Think we'll go ahead and question is, do we summon... We're definitely going to attack and get rid of tokens, but do we summon the Sinister Serpent or the Spirit Reaper? Serpent leaves us a little more vulnerable. Just make sure he does have lights and darks, so there's no point in not attacking over the breaker. We'll summon the Reaper, I suppose. Attack once for 1100. Attack twice over a token. And then attack over the other token. And pass our turn. Opponent sets a monster, could be the Sinister Serpent, and a back row. So we definitely know it's the Sinister Serpent. Goes to end phase, we get Nobleman across out. Okay, and that is unfortunate. We lose to the Ring of Destruction, but nothing we could have done about that. Alright. Oh, we saw Scapegoat. So, Wang Hu could be interesting. So we also saw Sakuretsu Armors. 7 tools seems fine. Gets Premature Burial, I don't think is needed. Banisher could be good. Noblemans are good. Maybe one Widespread Ruin. He's not really like a battle deck. And then maybe a Wang Hu over one Jiaogen, just because it's a bit bigger. But I want to keep the light count relatively high. Do I want to bring in any Book of Moons? Maybe Book of Moon over one Widespread. Just because it's a little more versatile, can stop my monster from getting Snatch Stolen, can stop Ring of Destruction, things like that. Okay, we'll pass that turn. Stop a Chaos Sorcerer effect. Our opening hand looks pretty good. Duo, we'll fire off right away. Hitting the middle card, and we have Tribe, Kaiku, Jiaogen, Breaker. Hitting Heavy Storm, so we can freely set our cards. And also know that if we draw some Solemn Judgments, that we don't have to worry about using it with a Heavy. And Sakuretsu Armor being the other card. We'll summon the Kaiku, because Jiaogen obviously is weaker. So we'll summon Kaiku. Do I set a Mind Control? No, because it leaves us vulnerable to the Breaker, the Magical Warrior. Which I suppose it would have to attack and not fear the back row, but it's just too much to potentially get a minus. And I don't want that to happen. He has Thunder Dragon, okay. So, Thunder Dragon will get himself likely 2 Thunder Dragons unless he drew one of them. Nope. So he gets a +1. So 3 cards in hand that are unknown. Sets a back row and a monster, and passes turn. We get Nobleman across out. I think I'm going to fire... Actually, we'll use the Breaker first, and hope it's not Torrential with a Sangan set. We will then fire off the Breaker, hope it's Sakuretsu Armor. It was Call of the Haunted. Then we'll Nobleman. Hitting a Magician of Faith. Like to see that gone. I stand by my decision to Nobleman instead of Mind Controlling. Then we will attack with both of these monsters. And banish the one other light he had so far. Which doesn't do too much because he can always just discard a Thunder Dragon. But you know, he has double Thunder Dragon in hand and now 2 unknown cards. Sets a monster and a back row, passes turn. We get a Sakuretsu Armor. Here... we'll Mind Control just to see what it is. Might be the other Faith, because he only banished 2. It's a Spirit Reaper. Do we flip summon it? We do, just so it's face up. And if he has Mirror Force, he now has to get rid of his own Spirit Reaper. He has Scapegoats, okay. So we'll attack with Kaiku and Breaker into 2 of the goats. Can't attack with the Spirit Reaper because it's mind controlled, can't attack. We'll set the Sakuretsu Armor. I think we actually do want to summon the tribe, declare, discarding Jowgen, and getting rid of beasts. And we'll give Reaper back in the end phase and pass our turn. So Kaiku's still stopping anything from being banished, not that he has anything to banish. Sakuretsu Armor kind of protects us, and summons Tsukiyomi, setting the tribe infecting virus, trying to go to battle, and we'll Sakuretsu Armor that, keeping our tribe, because that's our best out at the moment, to the Spirit Reaper. So hopefully we draw into something that I don't mind discarding. Come on, let me just draw Sinister Serpent one time. Alright, there we go. Game 3. Now that he's seen Mind Control... No, I'll keep in. I'll wait a minute, just so he thinks I'm siding a little bit heavier. But I think I'll pass turn. Or, let's bring in one Widespread over one Dust. I think Token Thanksgivings would be a little bit overkill. Jowgen can also get rid of the Scapegoat tokens. The only thing with Jowgen that you do need to know is it discards one random card from your hand to the graveyard. So obviously Tribe, you get to discard whatever you want, whereas Tribe, you discard the card. Jowgen, it has to be random. So sometimes, you have like a Nobleman, Serpent, BLS in your hand, and you want to use a Jowgen effect to get rid of all these Scapegoat tokens. Maybe we'll actually bringing one more Wanghu. Okay, I was going to say one more Wanghu over a Banisher, just because going second to Banisher is not nearly as good. But is what it is. Keeps our light count a bit higher. Judgment, Sakuretsu, Duo, Banisher, Sinister Serpent. We've seen Duo, I think, turn 1 every single game. But the opponent does have Thunder Dragon, so he's going to be a little bit insulated from the Delinquent Duo. Unless he has Graceful Charity. Honestly, this is the one time I hope he has Graceful Charity in his opening hand. Gets Thunder Dragon times 2 to his hand. Setting a back row. 2 back row. And passes turn. We get Trap Dust Shooted. So he now has full knowledge of our hand. If I were him, I would take the Banisher of the Light. But I suppose it greatly depends on what he has. He takes the Sinister Serpent. Okay. We'll fire off the Duo right away. Hopefully we just don't hit the Thunder Dragon. Hit the middle card. I always like to hit the middle card. At the very least, if it gets rid of the Thunder Dragons, get rid of the Metamorphosis. And a Thunder Dragon, okay. Maybe I should have summoned the Banisher first, but he already had the Light engraved, so it doesn't really matter. We will summon the Banisher. Set Solemn. Set Sakuretsu. Keep the Mind Control. Set the Mind Control. So everything's going to now get banished because of the Banisher of the Light. Changes it to, or sets a back row, passes turn. We will, if this ever goes through, to main phase 1. Very laggy. Maybe my opponent's Ring of Destructioning. Nope. We will summon the Kaiku, Torrential Tribute. Change. There's the Torrential. We will Solemn. Pay half. These get banished. Yep. Change this to defense and get in with Kaiku. He does have the Sakuretsu armor. Unfortunate, but fine. These also get banished. It's one of those things you just don't really think about it. So we're down in life points, down in cards, but we have a great Floodgate on the field that can heavily stop my opponent. And I think our top decks are pretty good, especially with this Mind Control. Though he does know about it, so I don't know if I'll Mind Control the first thing he sets. For spells, he has a Metamorphosis in Graveyard, so Magician of Faith doesn't really do much. We have Delinquent Duo. He has Snatch Steal. Then he's going to Tribute over it for Thunder Dragon, most likely. Yep, so there's the Thunder Dragon. And apologies, I do need to take this call real fast. Alright. Fortunately, our cars are good to go, so we'll have something to do. Fiend Skull Dragon, summoned from the Metamorphosis of a Thunder Dragon, is pretty dang good. Because we cannot target with the Sakuretsu armor. I think we just have to, unfortunately, set the breaker and pass turn. Nobleman Across Out does us in. He has 3 lights, no darks, and grave, but have to protect our life points, and I think summoning the breaker would have left us vulnerable, though Snatch Steel's gone, so maybe I should have summoned it. There's a Spirit Reaper, that's really good. We will Mind Control, just see what it is. It's a Tsukiyomi. Unfortunately, Tsukiyomi can't get over the Fiend Skull. But we will flip it. Set that to hand and pass. So Spirit Reaper is a very good defensive card right now. Might be what we need to potentially get back into this game, though frankly I don't expect to. The Tsukiyomi flip also makes it so if he was going to try to summon the Tsukiyomi, he can't like flip Fiend Skull and then flip it back face up. But Reaper can wall right now. And because Spirit Reaper is not a flip effect, Fiend Skull does not negate it. And Tsukiyomi would set the Spirit Reaper face down. So its effect, even though it's been targeted, can't activate because it activates after resolution, and the effect of a face down monster can't activate. Not like that, at least. So. No. It's face down before its effect can destroy itself. He sets a monster, passes turn. We get 7 Tools of the Bandit. Not very good, but we'll set it. Make him maybe a little bit more fearful of attacking. Uses Pot of Greed. Unfortunately, that's fine. Fiend Skull is a really good card to get. He attacks with Fiend Skull Dragon into Reaper for, I suppose, no reason. Nobleman Across Out. We will go ahead and I suppose just Nobleman the new set. Dekoichi. That's banished. And end our turn. Very important because we don't want to give him a dark in the graveyard. No cheats here. I do think, looking at this, it's going to be a shorter video because I do want to go get the cars. And we get another nobleman back-to-back, so let's nobleman what I imagine is a Tsukiyomi. No, it's a Spirit Reaper of his own, so getting rid of a couple of darks. Definitely good. Pass our turn. He viewed his graveyard, so I think he's got a Chaos Monster. But no darks. That's probably the Tsukiyomi, hoping he can get a dark into the grave. We get another Sakuretsu Armor. We will set it and pass turn. And while I still don't think we're going to win this game, Reaper has done a whole lot right now. Sets another monster, goes to battle. Maybe he's just trying to, like, bait out a Sakuretsu Armor of me just, like, being bad. Unfortunately, Wang Hu doesn't do much because it just would lose next turn. Also, it actually would be able to allow him to flip one of the Tsukiyomis or something, whatever, dark, and then it would die, and then he gets the Chaos Monster. So we're just going to pass. You know, it makes it too easy for him to get a dark into the graveyard. Though both our noblemans being gone means it's unlikely we're going to be able to put a dark. What we need is, like, alright, he activates Delinquent Duo. First life points of his gone. Alright, pay 1,000. There we go. And Wang Hu goes to the grave. DD Warrior Lady is actually pretty good. I think we set it, though, because I want to potentially be able to use this 7 Tools of the Bandit. I think that is important. I'm hoping he kind of thinks. Flip, declare, banish that Fiend Skull. So finally we get through the Fiend Skull. He sets another back row. The reason I didn't want to attack with the DD Warrior Lady is because it would put us at 1,000 life points, and then the 7 tools wouldn't do anything. We will banish a light and a dark. Special summon the BLS. Declare. Banish that monster. Sinister Serpent, that's a nice hit. Still no darks. Engrave. Snatch Steel's gone. Is Torrential gone? No, not this game. Okay, we'll pass turn. So that's probably Tsukiyomi set. I suppose something he could do would be flip Tsukiyomi, set the Spirit Reaper, run into the BLS to put the Dark in his grave, and then special summon the Chaos Monster that I imagine is in his hand and banish the BLS. And we wouldn't be able to do anything about that. But BLS being on field makes me able to banish a Dark every single turn. Banish, I don't want to say Dark, but banish one of his monsters, and hopefully we just keep exploiting him and running him out of Dark monsters. So we'll banish that one. There's the Tsukiyomi. 7 tools also insulates us from Ring of Destruction. I would love to see a Solemn Judgment. Cyberjar. Unfortunate, but that does wipe the field. We get Kaiku. We'll special the Kaiku. Bring Mirror Force and Judgment to hand, and then the way it works as well is your opponent gets to know the monsters but doesn't get to know the order and where they're set. So something important to know is a lot of people just like special summon. He gets Trap Dust Shoot, Graceful Charity, MST, Night Assailant, and Breaker. But Breaker is special summoned, good to know. so it doesn't actually get its effect. I would love to use the 7 tools before the judgment. And I hope he attacks into one of these monsters. Graceful Charity. That's fine. So we have, what is it? Widespread and 2 Sakuratsus and 7 tools. So he's going to have a hard time attacking through anything. Discards with Graceful Charity. Book of Moon. And that was 1 out to the Kaiku effect on field right now, and a card destruction. Makes sense. He would end up decking out if he used the card destruction, or not decking out, but getting a lot closer. He's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in hand. Heavy Storm is kind of a blowout right now. So, big plus for him there. But Kaiku being on field without a monster that can get over it is pretty strong. And we do have the ability, if he leaves the breaker on board, to attack into it. We've seen Torrential, no we have not. Mirror Force, no we have not. Night Assailant's the set monster. Banisher's fine, but only if we can flip it before he gets more darks in the grave. We might need to make some risky plays next turn. We know he has MST, though, which really is unfortunate. The risky play I'm thinking would be flipping Banisher before attacking the breaker, so then we can get the dark out of there. And then maybe even attacking the Night Assailant, which would be able to get rid of 1. Alright, banishes the Sangan with Nobleman across out. So he now knows the other set is the Banisher of the Light. He's viewing his grave. Not allowed to. That's like the best effect of Kaiku, is you cannot banish. Very easily forgotten though, but when I'm playing a deck that's completely based around these floodgates, you know, it's pretty important that I remember. And he does attack with Breaker into the Banisher. So now, everything will get banished. Goes ahead, sets a few back row. I imagine one of them is MST. We get Snatch Steal. We will set the Snatch Steal, set the Mirror Force, set the Solemn Judgment pass turn. And he hits exactly what I wanted. Gets rid of my Snatch Steal. I don't think that was a good card in this situation, but I need to make sure this Night Assailant doesn't flip. Because if it was to get rid of Kaiku, we will Solemn. Summon Tsukiyomi, sets the Kaiku. Come on, banish. Run into this Mirror Force. And we get a quick little plus with this Mirror Force over getting rid of Tsukiyomi and Breaker, not over them. But those are 2 more darks gone, and Mirror Force is banished. Also, I believe Snatch Steal and MST are also banished. Just things that we need to know about. Alright, so main phase 2, he does summon the Chaos Sork. banishes the Banisher of the Light. And it's not looking too good here. We get Spirit Reaper. We will set the Reaper. And I think just pass turn. He has no more Darks and Graves, so no need to fear another Chaos Monster. Quick sip of this orange coffee. Premature Burials for the only monster you can get right now, which is a Thunder Dragon. Which maybe is going to Metamorphosis. Nope. Thunder Dragon beats over the Kaiku. And Reaper is now face up. But he's attacked, so he can't banish it with the Chaos Sork. We get Sakuretsu Armor. And it's not going to be enough. Because he will use Chaos Sork effect. I mean, it's enough to stall one turn unless he summons another monster. Changes the Chaos Sork to defense, even though he knows Mirror Force is gone, and we are obviously, so we stay alive, forced to Sakuretsu Armor. We get Dust Tornado, and we'll set it, and, you know, that's going to be game, though. Premature should be dead as well, just make sure he... Not that it makes any difference, but... He knows all 3 Sakuretsus are gone. Doesn't know how many Widespread Ruins I play. He knows one of them was in the grave. So maybe he... GG's. And we had a Mirror Force, but it doesn't matter. We just lose anyways. So if we ever play him, we know he runs Mirror Force. Let's see. Tribe would not have been enough. We wouldn't have had a discard. Kaiku would not have been enough. Widespread, yeah, no. So nothing was really going to get us out of that situation. And like I said, normally I like to do more than one match, but unfortunately we do not have the ability. I didn't realize Jowgen is just banned. Like, really? Just completely banned in modern format. Not even at 1. Like, I don't feel like this is that powerful a card, though I guess there's probably ways to, like, you know... Game is absolutely crazy now, so it's probably like you can just special summon it. I know, like, the, what is it? The statues, the barrier statues, that's the other word, are really, can be powerful. I didn't realize, though, that Jowgen was so good it's just banned. Like, that seems a little weird. Tell me why if you guys play Modern and know, like, what breaks the Jowgen. But no, I think the deck is interesting. I think going first is much better because you can summon the Banisher. The idea is, you know, summon Banisher, Jowgen, something like that, Kaiku, and just have a bunch of back row to protect it. I think it performed decently well, though. I think we played all right. Though, anytime I'm playing, you know, a fun deck, running into a Chaos deck, it's an uphill battle, to say the very least. You know, it's difficult to win when you're playing just a worse version of other people's decks. But I think Floodgate monsters are something that are a little underexplored. I like the Wang Hu. You know, some matchups it just automatically wins. But if you guys like the video, like the video. If you don't like the video, leave a dislike. I guess you're allowed to do that. You have free will. But thank you all for watching. I am the YuGiOh Scrub, and goodbye.